It's ridiculous. No one can do 500 push-ups just like that, right? But we do 2000 if we have to. Because we don't damage our body. We use electricity to do it. I pushed Hari, my cameraman. We gave him electricity into his kidneys and he ran. If I restrict the energy in my kidney like most people do, this is how much I can push. That's really how much I can push. I'm going to do the same push, allowing the energy. I sent him some electricity from my kidney to his kidney and he ran. Amount of comments on it. I deleted 200 comments on it, including them tagging me in McDojoLife. Because they just don't understand what electricity is. So inside you is energy. It's your internal energy. You have to learn how to control it. That's what a good guru will teach you. That's your power. You have to learn to control that power.
Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife, and there is a lot of crazy to unpack in what he just said, so let's get to it. The guy you just got done watching in that video goes by the name of Guru Pashupati, or as his followers like to call him,
Guruji.
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 Guruji. Guruji. Guruji.
Guruji.
As you can see from that montage, there are quite a few people that follow his teachings. But what exactly is he teaching? Well, let's start with the video you saw at the beginning of this breakdown, where he claims that he could do 2,000 push-ups and also shoot electricity out of his kidneys. Thank you, Guruji, for the shout out, by the way. I had no clue who you were until you mentioned me in that video. But we continue. Are there people on the planet who can do 2,000 push-ups in a row? Absolutely there are. That's documented. Can he do 2,000 push-ups in a row? I highly doubt it. As far as his claim that he can shoot electricity out of his kidneys into another person, let's take a look at that kidney push video again.
If I restrict the energy in my kidney like most people do, this is how much I can push. That's really how much I can push. I'm going to do the same push, allowing the energy.
Is he trying to say that electricity means pushing someone and then pushing them harder a second time to make it seem like the push is even harder as they run away from you? Because if that's the case, you nailed it. But Rob, electricity is internal and you wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, let's go down that path. Guruji, how much electricity does the human body produce?
Across the cell एक voltage रहना चाहिए. वो रहना चाहिए -50 millivolts. लेकिन हीलिंग के लिए इससे ज़्यादा भी चाहिए. लेकिन आमतौर पे लोगों का वोल्टेज रहता है -25, बस इतना ही. तो ज़्यादा वोल्टेज चाहिए उधर. एक बहुत सारा वोल्टेज डिफरेंस रहने पे अक्रॉस द सेल आपको हीलिंग हो जाएगा और आपकी यूथफुलनेस वापस आ जाएगी.
So in that video, he's saying that the average person produces -25 millivolts of electricity in their body, and that you need above -50 millivolts in your body in order to feel youthful and to heal yourself. What a crock of shit. The human body's individual cells on average produce roughly about 70 millivolts of electricity, or 0.07 volts. So even if we could cure ourselves with our internal electricity, which we can't, we are already producing well over what he claims that we need in order to do so. Now, as far as his claim that he could throw electricity through his body in order to shoot his partner across the room, let's address that. Between roughly 9 to 30 milliamps is usually what's considered the freeze current, or the let-go range. This means that if you grabbed an electrical wire with your bare hands, that you might get stuck to it because your muscles will contract. But if you touched it without grabbing it, like with your arm or your leg or some other thing that isn't going to grab a hold when your muscles contract, you actually might get blown away from it. So since he's claiming to throw somebody across the room using electricity, that would be the amperage that is required to do so. The problem with that is that the amperage flowing through an individual cell in the human body is estimated to be around 161,290 picoamps. It takes a billion picoamps to make 1 milliamp. And because the human body doesn't exactly work like a power generator, you can't make all the cells in your body work together to centralize electricity to push it out of your body at all. That's just not how the human body works. So that kind of takes a shit on Guruji's theory. Claiming to be able to shoot electricity out of his body isn't Guruji's only outlandish claim. Let's take a look at his dental advice. That's right. He's not only telling people not to brush their teeth, he's literally saying brushing your teeth is bad for you. Well, that's just gross. While oil pulling does have some health benefits, it's absolutely in no way a substitute for brushing and flossing. You see, oil pulling can actually help remove the amount of plaque on your teeth, but it does not remove the existing plaque on your teeth. And since plaque is extremely sticky, you have to brush or floss in order to remove that existing plaque. So by not brushing and flossing, you're setting yourself up for cavities or even worse. And let's say hypothetically, for some reason, you are anti-toothpaste and, as he put it, believe it's a chemical weapon against you. You can still brush or floss without using the toothpaste. Just use whatever you're using, like the coconut oil, to help get that plaque off your teeth. And as far as his statement of contributing electrons to your gums, well, that's just horseshit. By now, if you followed the page for long enough, you've probably been wondering, where is the martial arts nonsense? Well, wait no longer.
My name is Guru Pashupati. I'm a martial artist and a yogi. 20 years ago in India, there were a lot of cases of rape. So I created a program that can be learned in just 4 hours, which help people to defend themselves and to face these kind of situations. I invite you to come to our 5-day foundation course in martial arts. But this is a very special and secret martial art that hasn't been taught very publicly. But now is the time for this to come out. Someday it has to come out and reach people and make everyone emotionally and physically strong again. Thank you, and I'll see you at the foundation course.
First of all, anyone that says they're about to teach you some secret ancient martial art that no one else really knows about, they're full of shit. And they're even more full of shit if they tell you that they can teach you this secret ancient martial art in just 4 hours. Maybe it was kept a secret because it's utter horseshit made up by you and people are embarrassed to even say that they learned it. But that's not even the strangest thing here. If you want to hear something really strange, listen to his answer when he was asked simply if he taught martial arts.
No, I do not teach martial art, not classes.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Here's a video of you teaching martial arts. Here's another video of you teaching martial arts. Here's yet another video of you teaching martial arts, not to mention the clear video we just got done watching of you advertising a seminar that you claimed that you were going to teach martial arts. Of course you teach martial arts. But I have an important question here, Mr. Guru. What are your qualifications to teach the martial arts that you claim you don't teach? What are those qualifications?
I am a very accomplished martial arts teacher. I have learned about 50 martial arts and I've become a master in all of them. And that took me more than 43 years to get to this level of mastery.
Oh, that's right. You heard correct. He just claimed that he has mastered 50 different martial arts in 43 years. What martial arts did he master? We don't know. Who were his instructors? Well, we don't know that either. And what ranks did he obtain in these martial arts? We don't know that either. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to take your word for it, Mr. Don't Brush Your Teeth electricity shooting man. Luckily for us, though, he did happen to put out some videos of him actually practicing martial arts, so we can see just how masterful he really is. This is clearly the deadliest man alive. Now, anytime I post a video or do a story about a martial arts cult leader, it does not take very long at all for the martial arts cult followers to kind of pop out of nowhere to defend the guy. This usually gives me some type of an insight into what that martial arts instructor claims or what they're teaching their students, and Guruji is no different. On April 5th of this year, I made a post about Guruji on my Instagram channel, and one of the Guru's followers that goes by the handle GrowLimitless_108 decided that they were going to speak out against anyone who had anything negative to say about the Guru's teachings. And while most of his comments were just name-calling, nonsense babble, threats, and for some reason a hard stance that spontaneous combustion is real, it's not real. The comment that stood out to me the most, however, was that he claimed that the guru could cure cancer. That's right. This follower believes that the guru can cure cancer. And when I asked him about that, he actually doubled down and said, "I don't believe it, I know it." That's the type of hold that he has on his followers. He actually has followers that believe he can cure cancer. But what if you don't believe that he mastered 50 styles of martial arts? And what if you don't believe that he can shoot electricity out of his body or cure cancer? Well, that's when his followers start to get violent. One of his followers actually said, and I quote, "Some people only get obedient when it has started to hurt." What? You think I'm just gonna magically believe this guy has cured cancer if you hurt me? You think I'm magically gonna believe that this guy can shoot electricity out of his body if I'm now hurt? That is nonsense, and that's the type of thinking that's dangerous. Imagine a guru who is so enlightened that his students actually believe in order to convince you that this man can cure cancer, they must hurt you. So to his followers, I say it's probably time to find a new guru. And for the people watching, it's time for us to give some Dillmans. Do I believe he can shoot electricity out of his body? Absolutely not. Do I believe he's mastered 50 martial arts styles in 43 years? From watching him, absolutely not. And do I believe he can cure cancer? Well, anyone with common sense knows that he can't. So for this guru, he gets 5 out of 5 Dillmans. He kind of gave us a little spice of all the bullshit that we like to see on this channel. He gave us some nonsensical martial arts. He gave us some supernatural powers that he could throw people across the room with electricity. And to top it off with a little bit of a cherry, he told people he can cure cancer. This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by Firecracker Farms. Firecracker Farms has this delicious seasoning and spices. While it is a little spicy, it's got a little kick. It is absolutely delicious. I started using it on all my food now, and I think it's great. So I really appreciate them being on board as a sponsor as well. And you can get 10% off if you use promo code McDojo at checkout. The question of the day might sound simple on the surface, but might be a little more complicated. But I'm looking to you to get some answers here, to get some insight. Why do you think people seek out gurus? Do you think it's legitimate mentorship? Do you think people feel the natural need to have to follow somebody? Do you think people actually believe that one person on the planet has all of the answers and can never be wrong? I'm curious. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment sections below. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, memberships. Thank you so much to everybody who is actually a paying member of the page. You guys allow me to continue to do stories about rapists and pedophiles because most of the time when I do those stories, they're demonetized. So I appreciate the hell out of you. As always, thank you all. Keep the martial arts legit.